Hey guys, Rolando Rodriguez here with xgains.com. We got workouts that work, eats that satisfy, and everything else you need to reach your lifestyle goals. See, you guys notice I had a guy say that it actually disgusted him, and I'm not about disgusting anybody. So wanted to make a video concerning salt. Something that I actually did experiment of one on myself when I came back from vacation, or while I was on vacation this last time when I went to the beach, that I noticed that was different than what I did and what I've done in the previous years, but what I did specifically this year when I went to Disney World. Talked about salt intake before on this channel, and specifically how you got to keep your salt intake high if you're gonna go on a low carb, high fat, or ketogenic diet. So I, following a low carb, high fat diet 11.5 months throughout the year, specifically following a ketogenic diet probably 10 months out of the year, normally keep my salt intake on a daily basis pretty high, like around 5 grams to 6 grams. Your body adjusts to the level of salt that you're intaking. If you think about it, our body is a bunch of electrical impulses and a bunch of chemical reactions on a cellular level, and if you input salt into the system and you don't think your body is going to adjust to the amount of salt so that it doesn't corrupt everything, you're not really thinking about it, right? If you normally intake a little bit of salt and you have a couple of days where you have a lot of salt, your body's going to probably retain and feel a little bloated those next couple of days, but then your body will level out. It's going to regulate itself at that new high level. And then vice versa, if you drop your salt intake, you might feel a little sluggish, you might feel a little different for a couple of days, but then again, your body's going to start to retain the fluids that it used to expel. A bunch of other processes that go on with it, but just suffice to say that your body adjusts to the amount of salt, be it low or high, that you intake. And if you're a bodybuilder or somebody wanting to look their best and you normally keep a low intake, don't change that intake a couple of days before your competition, and vice versa. If you have a high salt intake and you're training all the way up to competition, don't drop it drastically the week before, because it won't end up being good for you. You might actually end up looking more depleted because your body might not have water stored in the muscle where you want it, and it's just gonna let it go, so you might look a little bit less full. But anyways, for this video, I want to talk about salt in the ketogenic diet and what I noticed coming back from the beach. When I went to Disney World this year, as you guys know, I had no holds barred, eat everything I wanted, freaking orgy on food, for lack of a better term. Normally, when I go and on vacation, I'm gonna be eating a lot of carbs and a lot of processed foods, which are high in sodium, and the carbs helps you retain the water, so I don't have to have this salt intake as high as I normally have, so I drop it down. That's what I did at Disney World. Had everything I wanted to eat at Disney World, came back and hopped right back onto a low carb, high fat, ketogenic eating approach. And about day 3, I went through the keto flu, the carb withdrawal, whatever you guys want to call it, but where you feel sluggish, you specifically notice it in your workouts, you have brain fog, you get tired throughout the day, you just don't feel like yourself. Well, before going to the beach, what I thought to myself was, if I already know that your body maintains a certain level of salt intake that you have on a regular basis, and I normally have it high, and if you include a little bit more salt, your body's just gonna get rid of that in a couple of days, I said to myself, what the heck, then why am I dropping my salt intake? Maybe that's why I felt like crap coming back from Disney. My salt intake is this high, and therefore everything that goes along with your salt intake, your water retention, your electrolytes that are in your system are regulated at this level, and then I drop it down drastically because I'm on vacation. What if the starting level was here, but the processed food and the carbs that I'm eating only helps me retain all my electrolytes and water that I originally had to this point? So I'm running this amount of deficit. And then I eat like that for a week, and all of a sudden I go from being up here to being down here, and then I come back and start to work out, and I don't have the same amount of electrolytes, the same amount of water to utilize in my muscles or in my system, and I'm sluggish. So I said, you know what? When I go to the beach, I'm gonna maintain my salt intake right where I have it on a regular basis. I'm gonna continue to salt my food to taste, and I'm gonna eat whatever I wanna eat when I'm on vacation. So the difference, when I went to Disney World, I went from here down to here, and maybe I started consuming here. So my body was running a deficiency about this much, and by the time I come out of Disney World, it might have already dropped itself down and made my regular daily intake about this low. And maybe it took 2 or 3 days, which is normal, for my body to compensate at its new high salt intake level. And that's why my workouts for the, going into day 2 or day 3 of coming back from Disney World and hopping on the low carb, high fat diet were crappy. But on the flip side, when I kept my salt intake at the beach high and I just added to that intake throughout the week, my level of salt and water retention are just going to be a little bit higher, if anything, if not my regular normal level, but at least closer to my regular normal level, because I didn't do a drastic drop. And there was a drastic difference in the quality of my workouts. I didn't feel sluggish coming back from the beach, which I hopped on not only a ketogenic eating diet approach, but the ketogenic egg fast, the ketogenic egg diet, which you guys know that I've now done 3 different times. And that entire week, the transition was flawless. The difference was the salt intake. I felt better, and the thing that I kept constant was the salt. So salt is a huge deal. We underestimate how important it is to our system. We underestimate how much we actually lose on a regular basis, and how important it is to replenish the salt that we lose, and all the things that fall into place if we keep it at a regular higher level, assuming there's no pre-existing medical conditions, of course. Anyways, that's it for now. This is Rolando Rodriguez with xgains.com. Please let me know if you got any questions or comments down below. Please like, subscribe, and share to this channel if you haven't done so already. I greatly appreciate it. The website again is that's the symbol, not the word, gains.com. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.